All right. Hello. All right, guys. What a long weekend, and I didn't uncover that. All right, guys. What is today? March 7th, 2022. All right, we have a lot to cover. We had an amazing class yesterday on the Patreon group, and wow. Okay, so let me just get started here, and let me just cover. What the hell is that? All right. Don't know what that was about. That was weird. All right. So we have a lot to cover here. Where are my notebooks? Okay. So there's a war going down, guys. There is a war. And do we see this thing ending anytime soon? All right. So let's just get down to it. I know a lot of you guys are going to come in a little bit later. So let me just get down to it. And let's see what we have to offer here. So we noticed that oil is going up. So oil is going up. I'm just going to add this to the screen right now. Oil right now is at $118 overnight Sunday session. It was at $130. Okay, so just know this: if oil goes up to $1.50, that could be a problematic. And it's not just that. We have wheat going up. So again, you know, wheat's climbing up. There's been limit up in the last couple of trading sessions last week. So that could be also a problem here. So we have, we have a lot to cover here. And so I'm just going to check something out real quick here. And let me see if I'm streaming. Am I streaming here? Yeah, we are. Okay. All right. So, all right, we are live. We're good. All right, so we have wheat up. Oil is up. Oil spikes to 126. It was 130. All right, so that's so funny. The U.S. dollar. Okay, so I want to talk about something. So this is on my mind, and I guess I'm going to use this platform so you guys can understand this. Like, all right, so the U.S. imposed sanctions on Russia. And those, I've been doing some research, those cannot be undone as easily as it was done. And really, who's being hurt from these sanctions, right? You think that, you know, the global economy is all one common denominator here, right? So it's just one global world connected. So you have chips that are being hurt. They're not going up. It's a little higher right now. You have oil because we cut our Keystone pipeline. So we were now we're dependent on our own oil. Oil was down last year, and we cut it off, and now we become dependent on foreign oil. And now we need that Russian oil. That's why we haven't really stopped or fully banned the Russian oil, right? Because then that means our oil prices are going to go to 150. So who's really affected by these sanctions, right? So I think so far, the American people, we don't have bombs here. We don't have shooting here. There's nobody trying to invade us yet. But at this moment, it's the U.S. that's being hurt with these sanctions financially. So we think that we're hurting Russia, and they might be hurt. But at the end of the day, you know, it's your pockets, you know, that when you go in to get gas and fill in your gas tank, you're being hurt. You know, so people are going to tighten up their spending. You see it happening. We have oil. We have wheat. Commodity wheat is going up. So think about that. The cost of your bread is going to go up pretty soon. At some time, that will be affected. So who's being really hurt by these so-called sanctions? You know, and then we also have CPI numbers coming in hot this Thursday. I'm going to talk to you about that. So that's things we have to kind of look forward to this week. And, so, it's like, so this week we have, right now we have Thursday CPI numbers, right? And remember, they don't include food and energy. They were 7.5% last time they came out. It was the highest since 1980. And this was when oil, I think, was around $80. Right? It was right just below 100. Now oil's going to about 130. We have a war. We have these sanctions. Inflation's running pretty hot unless. So again, now it comes into, what about the Fed? So is the Fed, can the Fed do anything? And I don't think that the Fed can do anything. It'll destroy the economy if they raise interest rates, right? But at the same time, inflation's running pretty hot. So we're stuck between a hard rock and a hard place. So just have to be, careful out there. So I'm just pointing out the facts of what is the market looking ahead. Because when I go into the XPX, this is what I'm going to cover, especially moving forward. Now, so we have now the job numbers came out good, so that means that we're getting back to work, which is great. But again, we have prices going up, guys. How long can this go? How long will the American people or the people around the world going to take it? I mean, look at Netflix. Netflix just raised their rates again, and that wasn't really announced. It was announced via the app, another $2, right? So when you look at the standard Netflix, it was what, $14 just a year ago, and they raised it up to $19. And yeah, it's $19 is not a lot of money, right? But when you look at the rate hike, you're looking at a $5, $6. What was it? I can't remember what it was. The $10 package is now $15. So that's a 50% increase, right? 50% increase. Okay. Gas, you're raising prices as well. Your bread is going to go up as well. Your commodities, and your dollar basically is losing purchasing power. Gold is about to explode, guys. Gold is about to explode, right? They've been holding gold down, but everything's happening, the war and the currency and the ruble. So do you think that Putin wasn't thinking ahead with these sanctions and he knew that the U.S. would be affected by it? I think so. I think he's a chess player. He's not a checker player. I think he thought about this way ahead. I'm not going to get into the intricacies of the war because we're just looking at price action here. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, JDH? Good morning. Good morning, guys. How's your gold? I remember you were mentioning a few months back. Yeah, gold's doing well. Gold's doing well, man. I 100%. We can trade gold futures, or you can own gold, right? And just it takes nothing. And when you look at the price of gold, and again, it was brought up to my attention. I read this book. I forget the name of the book, but I can probably mention it here. Good book. It was. Let me see if I can find it. I still have it on my Audible. I heard it because I listened to books. What was the book? Library. Okay. Why Gold, Why Now? That's a good by E.B. Tucker. Pretty easy read. He just wrote it last year. And what he talked about in that book is true. He gives you the whole history of inflation, of gold, money supplies. If you want to learn about that, good book to read. Highly recommend it. Why Gold, Why Now? By E.B. Tucker. But, the price of gold, went up about 10% just sitting in my closet over the last couple of months. All right, guys. So that's what we got as far as not that we got. But anyway, we have that. I want to get into, it just, when you start looking at things around the world, just makes you wonder. Futures are down. Dow is down. Everything is pretty much down. Be careful, guys. In the class yesterday, we discussed this. This drop is not going to be a severe drop like, oh my God, COVID, fear, boom, right? It's not like that. What I'm noticing massive amount of distribution. We've been talking about that for a while. They're distributing. They're unloading their shares. And with that being said, I think that we might have a pop after all of this. But I think that pop will be sold. I don't think it's going to go higher. We're going to go all-time highs. Guys, these sanctions, when you start research the history of sanctions, you put sanctions on, it doesn't go off like in a month or a week, 2 weeks. It takes years. It takes the next term of a president to remove sanctions, right? And I mean, think about this. All that lost revenue from the global economy. Remember, we are in a global economy. It's a lot of these companies are losing money. Their PE ratios, which are super high already, are not going to have that profit. So again, and I'm saying this for one reason only, guys. And the reason I'm saying this is because I want you to stop thinking bullish, start thinking bearish, especially if you're an investor. Unless you're investing in, defense stocks, great, because that's the play right now. And if you're investing in cybersecurity stocks, which it's in play, they're pulling back a little bit, but it's just started. on the move, because if we feel like, Russia's just is going to get into cyber warfare, think about it. All these companies need to protect what they have, and now they have to invest in cybersecurity and add to that. So that's why these cybersecurity stocks are going to do well. Now, oil stocks is different, right? Because at any moment, Biden can fix this. If we reopen the Keystone pipelines, then the price of oil will go down tremendously, right? Because then we again, supply and demand. So that can happen anytime. So just be careful with oil stocks, even though they're going up. But anytime any news like that can happen, it can drop pretty fast. So right now it's going up, easy. But that's the only thing with oil, okay? So just know that that is a possibility. All right, but let's go into, because I want to get into so far we have CPI here again, and we also have this earnings week. I don't think these are going to matter, but we do have, I think, CrowdStrike, which is a big security company, is going to come out there, and I'm eager to find out. I think the ticker number is CRWD. I'm eager to find out what they say. There's somewhere around here. I can't. Every time I think, CRWD. Sorry, it's somewhere here. I'll find it. We'll get to it. I'll find out exactly what it is. But these are the ones that I think that are gonna, we should be paying attention to. I'm eager to find out what they're going to say. All right. As far as futures are still down. Oil's at 118, overnight's at 130. The treasury notes at 179. I'm going to talk about that and the importance of that. But let's just dive in here, guys. So ultimately, right here, we're looking at the E-mini futures here on the hourlies and the 15. So you can see the price action. We dropped. We knew that this thing wasn't going to come in. I'm going to talk to you at length here. We dropped pretty significantly overnight, guys. So the market opened at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Immediately, we went to the lows here, or the previous lows of no, this is the spiders. Immediately, so the E-minis here. I'm going to show you that right now. The E-minis immediately, when we opened at last night, we went to about 42.53. So that was the targets of last week, and it held at 42.53. Let me see if I can zoom in here. There's the hourlies here, and immediately got bought up. Again, why did it get bought up? Well, because you have people who are shorting it. They need to cover their shorts, and they're buying it, right? It's 42.53 is a key level here, and again, 42.38, 42.51, right in there. So it's, if you got the access to the Patreon, we can still use the levels from last week, because those are still valid for this week. There's another one back here too at 41.65. All right, so this week we have this 42.71. And again, we rallied off of that level. Now, again, the short covering is coming to the end. The MACDs are coming here and coming up close to that 50 on the E-mini futures. More than likely, we're probably going to consolidate to this 43.62, 43.80 right in there. And let's see what happened there. Does it get sold off in here? I don't know. Maybe. Let's see where the market opens. But right now, the first hour, is going to be a cash open. I'm interested to see what happens at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. A half an hour into the open, and see what happens if this thing turns around. Does it go higher? Now, when we talked about this yesterday, look at again, guys, and I want to share this with you, Tom, especially to the guys in my Patreon group, because we talked about this at length. Look at this. And again, unless you were trading E-minis, but all moving there, consolidating right there. Bingo. This is exactly what we want right there. Boom, boom. And it's off to the races. This is like a pressure zone for everything to just explode up. Now, how high does it go up? Well, if we look here, it could probably go to that 43.19, which is right exactly where the 50-day moving average is. And what does it happen there? Does it pull back and does it break through, or does it come back down? We don't know yet, but again, those are the levels that we're looking at. And if we look at it at 43.19, we're looking right at that 43.20, right in this consolidation area. Okay. All right. So right there, those are the levels that we're looking at. Now, here's the thing. If we break 43.61, 43.80, I think they were probably going to head way up to 44.25. Now, do we break through today with CPI, high inflation? There were a lot of unknowns out there. Don't think we're going to go up there. So here's the thing. I expect these things to be sold off. Okay, so again, I'm noticing massive amount of distribution selling off, and again, we're not going to see, and I'm going to go back here. We're not going to see, if we look at the XPX, this is the daily, NASDAQ daily, Russell daily. We're not going to see a drop dramatically, remember. And I'm going to share this with you because when we look at this, look at the NASDAQ again, and I mean the XPX, this is weekly. This is our daily. Now I'm going to convert this to a weekly. And again, this 50-day moving average is pretty significant, right? Pretty significant. Again, look at all the moving averages converging right now. Something big is about to happen. It's not there yet. I would say we're probably about another week away, right? We have CPI numbers coming out. What's going to happen there? Now, there is buying up here. They're holding it up. But remember, and I say this to you because there's been a lot of buying since 2018. I'm going to go back here. 2000 and 1995, 2008, right? The crisis here, 2018, when they raised the rate, 2018, when they tried to raise rates, 2020, they're holding this thing up. So again, parabolic moves. So again, if we probably going to try to bring it up to that 50-day, there's a lot of liquidity. They still have a lot of shares they want to unload before they take it down. What can take this market up? Actually, so we'll play both sides. What can take it up? I don't know what can take it up, right? But ultimately, I'm just looking at price action. We converge. And these are the moments I'm talking to you about. Now, this is the weekly, right? So again, all the moving average converge. And this is the 4, the 20, the 30, and the 50. This is the 200-day, which converts to the 200-week. So everything converges to 200 weeks. So again, so 50-week is approximately about a year. The last time we touched the 50 was in 2020. Right now, it is 2022, 2 years away. And there is some buying here, but what's going to happen here? So can it take it up, and what's going to happen? So don't be fooled for these traps. These are called potential bull traps because they might take it up and then take it down. So that's what I suspect. Is it going to happen today? Probably not. But again, like I said, just think about these sanctions. These sanctions are not going to go away. They're not going to go away. So, and we're limiting now the global supply. Think about that for a second. We're limiting the global supply. Crayon is an element that's used, or whatever it's helium or something is used to make the chips. We have fertilizer that comes from Russia that's used to grow your crops. So now Hungary, which I think Russia just basically put a stop into export of fertilizer. So now Hungary, who sells wheat, now is saying, well, we're going to limit exports of wheat. Do you see how this is affecting? It's a trickle-down effect down the road. And last I heard, Bill Gates owns a lot of the farmland. Are we even doing wheat anymore? I don't think we are. Need to look deeper into that, but I don't think we are. But anyway, as far as price action here, we got to see what this happens here. Right now, we're in no man's land. Where are we going to open? We're at 43.10 on the futures. That puts us right 43.10, roughly right at that 43.20, right below where we opened. So not bad. We rallied up, but these are huge swings here, guys. And we're slowly. It's like you have a tire. So let me give you this. Let me give you this imagery. You have a tire. And you have a tire. You're driving. You have a car, and I slowly put a pebble in your air valve, and I tighten it up so you're leaking air, and that's what's happening right now. Eventually, the markets are leaking, and their goal is not to let us know. So you're gonna see buy the dip. And there was an article last week, and I couldn't find it. I hate that when I read so much and I can't find the articles. I should just save them. Retail buyers were buying so much last week, and institutions were selling. So just know that I wouldn't buy it. Let it come back down. Remember, the price of your stock is not going to be worth the price it is now, because you're limiting now the exposure of availability can sell its products to now. We're again, these sanctions are just going to increase. What happens if China takes over Taiwan? Right? What happens to Apple stock? What happens? There's a place, where was it called? where Apple makes is where was it? Foxconn in Taiwan. That's where Apple makes its products there, its chips. What happens if China takes over and we go into this, does it give it back at the end of this conflict, this thing? No. Look at World War II. Look what happened there. Did they give back all the companies that they took over? Not really. So again, just know that. No doom and gloom. I'm looking for just the possibility of what can happen. It's not looking too good, people. So again, I want you to avoid the traps. If you're trading it, again, amazing. Trade the moves. We talked about it at length, what we're going to be looking at. As far as the NASDAQ, the NASDAQ right now is, it's just going down. Russell going down. It's probably in this next leg up. Look at this leg. We have 1, 2. What's next? So it's coming up to the 50, and more likely we're probably going to see it down. And same type of thing. Can it come up? It's just lingering. As far as the VIX, let's look at the VIX. The VIX climbed, and again, this was when the futures were up. It went up to 36%. We are higher than last week. So fear is still kind of lingering up in this area, and that's kind of like, fear is pretty high. That means tensions are high. People are still buying puts. So again, where can we go? So can we rally today? Looks like we're probably going to rally. Well, I'm interested to see what happens at 10 o'clock. And that's why I put those levels up there. So again, 3148 for today. And let's see, today's a big day because it's going to set the tone for the week, right? As far as we're going to be watching it, and we're going to see what the pattern is for the VIX, because it has a pattern. As far as the Treasury notes are going a little bit higher. That's good. I'm going to zoom out of here. I want to see what the opposite here is. So we got the Treasury. These are the notes, and this is the bonds. So again, there was the notes. When the notes come down, so this is inverse right here. So again, we saw people buying bonds here, right? So they were buying it, or they be selling it. Don't know what's happening here. So we're gonna find out what this happens. But the Treasury note is at 1.80 right now, so that's good. If it stays here, if it stays around 2%, but we don't want it to move that dramatically. Okay, so let's just know that. Let me get into it. It's around 8:56. So let's get out of XPX. 4308 puts us at 4318. It's going to open it right there. We're at the 50. Let's see what happens there. Could potentially move on the 50-minute time frame. It's going up a little higher. 4308 puts me at 4318. More likely, I think we're probably going to push higher and see what happens at that 4340. Okay, it's going to be right there at 4340. It's going to be close. Again, watch the MACDs, watch these, and see if we're going to get a move up or down. And I gave you the levels on the E-minis. As far as the spiders, same type of thing. I think I gave it to you here. For spiders, we're rallying. So this is exactly identical to the E-minis. On the hourlies, what do we have? We have it coming to the end. So what can happen here? We can have an exhaustion sell-off. And I mean by exhaustion sell-off, it won't last. Meaning we already dropped, it'll probably sell off and go into, and it'll probably get bought back up. And that's what I'm eager to find out what happens at 10 o'clock. Okay. So right now we're rallying here on the 15-minute time frame. How high can we go? 432, 433. And again, the levels up here I have, I'm going to erase that. Don't need that one. Okay. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so right now where we can go, 436 to 438, possibly, and then this level is going to hold 427. I think we're going to be range bound, right, until we're not. If this breaks through, then that's going to lead open to other elements, and I'll write that down. I think, let me see, let me look at this for a second. If we break these ranges, I think that 44. If 4271 breaks, we're probably going to go to 4165, which that means 416 if this breaks, right? As far as the order flow, which puts us right in this range right here, okay? It's going to leave open to that if it breaks. If we break higher, I think that 448 is a possibility, maybe 450, somewhere in there. But I don't think that that's going to happen. I believe that we're probably going to be a range bound day, but just be ready. As far as the SPY, that's what we got there. As far as the QQQs, let's look at that. The QQQs are rallying up a little bit, coming to the end here, going up a little higher again. More than likely, let's see if it can go up to that 50-day moving average around 341. That is a possibility. It's coming to the end here. We're getting some buyers coming at this end here, and it could rally, right? So it can go out to 338, 341, which puts us right at that 50-day. Again, so is that a possibility? MACDs are telling me strength. A lot of buying on the 15-minute time frame is midstream. So let's see. It can probably go up, come back down, and maybe higher. But watch it at 10 o'clock. IWM. IWM, what do we got? IWM, same type again. So we're getting all of them coming to the close, coming rallying here. How high can this thing go? We have 191, 200 is going to be a round number. So let's say that 200 level. Can it rally? How high can it go? So again, wait for it to set up. Not a really active setup. I would just wait to that 10 o'clock. Again, if this gets to 200, this rallies back and we got them both at the 50, that's going to be a go time. All right, I'm just gonna cover real quick. What do we got? Hourlies and I got the daily here. Okay, so on Tesla, one thing we noticed on Tesla, I want to just point this out. Tesla's right at that 200-day moving average, guys. On dailies right here, and it's being bought. It's being bought at that 200-day. Remember, it really hasn't spent a lot of time below the 200-day. I think since it was at $51. Right, so we broke through, came back up. That's what I'm saying. Like Tesla is being bought below 700. Is being bought below 700 when we look at the dailies here. So again, Tesla came out with some good news today. But again, this is one of the things we looked at. As far as the 50-minute time frame, let's look recently. We know it's rallying. It's coming up to the 50. Is at the 50. Let's see what happens. All the moving averages are converging. Let's see what happens there. 850. Now, just know this. Tesla has a huge number. Has two huge numbers. We have 888 on top, 888 right there, having a hard time breaking above that. But if it breaks that, it's probably going to go, you got to understand, 888 is probably going to sell off 50 or break 50. Okay, it's a huge number. And then there's another number at 950. 950 is a bigger number than 888. So just know those numbers. I don't know what's going to happen, but again, Tesla is there. And remember, Tesla just doesn't make cars. They're into Starlink, robots, energy, so just know that. So again, we have a nice moving average here. Can it break through? Can it get up to 888 maybe at the open? Possibly. But what happens at that 888? Don't fall in love. Again, this is a moment where you can probably roll up. And we talked about that yesterday. And what I mean by that is if you know this is a target, and you want to play this because you see that, then you ride it. And then when it gets to 888, because you know something, it's either can sell off or break, but you got a nice profit, you sell it. Right, and then you can roll up from that moment into a cheaper option, and if it sells off, you made money, right? But if it goes through, you're still gonna lock in those gains and then get some more. So that's a possibility. Okay, so right there, we like the way Tesla's moving right there. I'm gonna go into the normal here. Let's look at Google. Okay, Google. Oh, wait, it's the wrong computer. Let's go to Google. And Google, again, rallying here. We have the hourly coming to the end. Where can it go here, right? It can either have an exhaustion sell-off or maybe go higher. How high can it go? 2654, 2672 is both the 15-minute time frame. On the 50-minute time frame, maybe could rally, maybe up to 2640 or an exhaustion sell-off here. If exhaustion sell-off, it can probably go to 2600, but not really looking, not a nice setup for today so far. Amazon, again, hourly's Amazon coming to the end here. Can it have a continuation? Looks like it probably wants to rally here. Let's see if it can get up to that 2900. Nice round number. See what happened. Not really a great setup for us, at this moment. Let it come back up and let's see what happens here. Maybe if it can set up for us, but Amazon might rally up. Let's see what the Nasdaq does. We got Tesla out the way. So we did CMG, Tesla. Let's look at ISRG. We talked about that. And ISRG, again, hourly is 15-minute time frame. Again, I think there's going to be consolidation here, right? Because there's consolidation rallied up nicely. MACDs are going lower. So we're probably seeing just going to consolidate and see what happens here. Maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. We get them both at the same time. Right now, it's at the 15-minute time frame. I think it's just going to consolidate here. Maybe it goes down to 294 again. That's where it got bought last week. And it's going to stay in range between 303 and 294. We got CMG. And let's go through that. If you guys want me to cover any stock, let me know. CMG, boom. Again, just not really anything looking good here. Maybe coming to the end. This could be an exhaustion sell-off here. If it hits 1448, then comes back down, it can probably go to 1413. That was a low, and see what happens there. That might be a possibility. If it breaks through, then let it come back up. It's probably going to go retest that 1480, which puts us right in this range right here. If it breaks here, it's probably going to retest that. Okay, so that's how we would trade this and see this. All depends on what the overall market is going to do. Let me just go real quick. Let's go to Bitcoin, get that out the way. Bitcoin consolidating nicely. We have all moving averages right there. Let's see what happens. Again, with this money supply thing and, everything going up, is Bitcoin finally going to be, the thing about Bitcoin is limited. They don't make enough of it. So that's one component I'm noticing maybe that a lot of investors will go back into it. But let's see. Again, MicroStrategy could rally on this. So they're all setting up. It's not there yet. But watch it if you're looking for a trade. If this breaks through, this is going to go higher. Ethereum. All consolidating. Something big is about to happen. Let's see. All right. I'm just going to go real quick if I can find a trade for us. ISRG setting up, but we already looked at that. Amazon could maybe rally here, right? We looked at that, but I gave you the upset. It's not going to be an explosive rally. CMG getting close. All right. So this is how we look at it's 906. Let's see if I can look at no. Goldman, maybe Netflix. Okay, let's look at Netflix. Apple, maybe. Nvidia, maybe. Okay, I don't think these rallies are going to be like big rallies. We got Zoom. Okay, we got AMD, Roblox. Okay. So let's look at, let me just relook at Amazon real quick before I let you guys go. And again, Amazon, okay, so it looks good here. It doesn't look here. So probably maybe rallies. Got a couple of headwinds, 29.26, 29.57, maybe come up to that 50. But those are the headwinds up there. Let's see how high it can go if it starts rallying here at the open. Or is it going to be sold off? Don't know, but watch it. We got Apple, because I like the way Apple's a slow mover, but Apple's being bought, so that's a pretty solid buy. Again, doesn't move that much, but it's being bought. 150, just know 159 is being bought. Just going to look at it from a little wider point of view. Again, 200-day moving average on solid companies being bought. So again, 151 is being bought. Just know that. Again, does not break the 200-day very often. Apple's very, very solid. However, that thing with Taiwan, we don't know. That could probably bring that element down. But again, it's being bought right at those levels. Apple, how high can it go? Maybe that 164. Let's see what happens. 164 will put me right in this range. And then does it sell off there, come back down, but it's being bought pre-market. AMD, we looked at that. AMD, again, solid. So all comments probably going to rally here, but it's probably, where can it go? Can probably go to that 112 from 108. Not a big mover, but there's some money there, maybe, possibly. But it sold off pretty hard. Roblox, same type of thing. Looking there, where can it go? To that 45 from 42. These are cheaper options. So these are options for you, possibly. Again, we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday CPIs. Doesn't mean we can't have a bullish day. We could. Doesn't mean we're over a bullish, but for a trade, you got something there. What else? What else did that look good here? Roblox. ASML's rallying. Wow. Okay. Missed it. AMD looks good. AMAT. All right. And there was something else here. Upstart. Look at Upstart. Coinbase, Upstart, Zoom. Okay, we have some movers this morning. Netflix, that's what I want to look at. Now, Netflix will be affected, guys. I mean, they just stopped streaming in Russia. It's going to be affected. So, again, I think this will be a relief rally. Ultimately, let it come back up. If you want to trade it, just know, it is going to affect their bottom line. You got 363. Let's see how it reacts at 370. Because when it hits 370, it's probably going to stop and then come back and set. But again, for a trade today, maybe 370 from 359 right now. Let's see what happens. Going to have some couple of pit stops along the way. Apple, Shopify. Shopify gonna probably rally. It's getting close, right? Watch it at that 637. I think Shopify is gonna get hurt really badly, guys. It's been hammered. It's been hammered, but it's not being bought. That's the problem. So we have a basing pattern here. Let me show you what the dailies look like. Is it below the 200-day? Yeah, way below the 200-day. Supply chain issues is gonna hurt these companies. Wage inflation, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. All right, let's look at GLD. Gold is skyrocketing. This is GLD. Again, 184. Just skyrocketing here on the dailies. Is there a play here for gold? This doesn't move as much, guys. That's what I don't share it, but it's coming to the end here. Looks probably wants to rally, come back down. But if you're looking for cheaper options, it moves $1, $2, because this is a price of gold. I think is add a zero is at 1843. That's the price of an ounce of gold, I believe. So it's just an ETF like the SPY. But that's one you can play. If you want to play silver too, it's a lot cheaper, and that's silver right there, SLV. All right, guys, there's a lot to cover here. So again, it is now 9:11, so we have 15 minutes to get ready. Guys, just pick your stocks, get ready right now for the remainder of this time. What I want you to pick the ones that you think are right for you. They think is a nice setup, and then create a watch list. If you're trading options, trade the options, right? Put 3-4 options, maybe a week out, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, month out, whatever you want to decide. Put puts on both calls and puts, and observe them, see how they react. And then at that 50-day, just punch it in, and get ready for the opportunities. I think I'm going to wait till 10 o'clock right now. So 10 is going to be my time that I'm going to be looking at to see how the market reacts. I think there'll be a shift at 10. It's usually a pivotal point that I'm noticing the algos will turn on today. All right. Go out there. Go get it. Go get it, guys. Stay green. And guys, again, the Patreon course is fire. We've been giving a lot of content. So if you still want to join, just go into the Patreon. The link is on the bio here, and you're more than likely to join. Also give out the trade levels on SP1, XPX every day, and that's for the Buy Me Coffee package. All right, guys, go out there, go get it, stay green. Haha, bro, I asked last time. Let me see. What we got, bro? Last night I had to get off YouTube before you end it. What trading file do you use for trades? Oh, I posted in there. Easy. So I use Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim mostly. I do have Thinkorswim. I do have Fidelity, Active Trade Pro Trader. I have multiple accounts just in case one goes down. So it's good. It's a good thing to have multiple. I have a Robinhood, but I don't use it. It has bad liquidity. I have a Webull account. And what else? Tasty Trade. Also good. I just started a broker with them, but those guys developed Thinkorswim. Tom Sosnoff and Tony are amazing guys. Great platform. They just started that because they're their contract with Thinkorswim ended. I forget what it's called. But yeah, there's a lot of brokers, but any one of those brokers. But I highly encourage you, use Thinkorswim to start off with. Learn the platform is really great. Gives you active. Could be a little bit overwhelming, but just stick to the few things. And then Webull is not bad. It just you can't trade futures on there. But it's not bad. I have an account there. I wouldn't use Robinhood, but if that's the only choice, then use it. It's really easy. But bad fills. They gave you terrible fills. And Yeah, I have Coinbase as well. What else do I have? I have multiple accounts, but I mostly use Thinkorswim. All right, guys, go out there, go get it. We have 12 minutes. Again, go out there, go get it, stay green. There's a lot of things moving. I think we're going to probably have an update, but it's not going to last very long. I have a code so you can get credit. Oh, man, thank you, bro. Don't know if they do the coding system, but I'll check. But I'll put it in the comments if I do. But you can just sign up. But thank you so much for thinking about me. All right, guys, I'm going to go out there. Go get it, but Thinkorswim is definitely. And if you're gonna trade, day trade, you're gonna have a 25,000 minimum if you go with margin. But I would encourage you to probably open up a cash account, and that way you can day trade with. You don't need the 25,000. So cash account, and then what I would do, open up multiple accounts. So you have a margin account that you can maybe do spread trades, and then have a cash account that you can do some day trades with, and then. I highly encourage you, once you start making money in your day trades, take money out on a weekly basis and put it off on the side. And that way you're kind of limiting yourself and have some discipline trading with this set amount. And then it just becomes a job, not a job, but becomes like a business for you. All right, guys, that's all we got. Go out there, go get it. JDH, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you haven't subscribe, go out there, subscribe. And if you want access to that, let me turn this off. If you want access to that Patreon, the Patreon course is in the subscription of this show. And again, I hope to see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Definitely. And thank you. And make sure to subscribe. All right, guys, go out there, go get it. Take care.